All this really happened since, as I got a few hours one evening to do a jack and point. Unfortunately, I'm too poor for a dry sump just yet, so. I also have a whole pile of shiny billet stuff that I want to put on it just because it looks cool. Car's finally back from painting. I'm pretty happy with how it all turned out. Hello everyone, we're back. So, probably not going to seem like it because of the magic of the internet, but it's been 2 months since we last touched this. With all the Drift Masters and ITC stuff and everything at the start of the season, I just didn't have time to do anything with it, so unfortunately it's just been abandoned. So we're back now, and all this really happened since, as I got a few hours one evening to do a jack and point, and that's the height of it. So today's project is to make a frame so I can send the shell for painting and actually get the show back on the road. So today the car's finally going off to get all the rust repaired properly and painted and everything, so I'm hoping that Niall might take some videos, but he doesn't really like cameras, so we'll see how that goes. Next time you see this, it's going to be a very different colour. Pretty pleased with my steering column. What do you reckon, Molly? Any tennis balls? You sitting? You sitting for the camera? Sit! Sit! No? You don't give a shit, do you? Nope. Sitting! Good girl. Good girl.
Told him this video might make YouTube, so he's mad now to get working on her.
So, not sure where we left off. I think it was maybe whenever the shell was going off for paint, but we're finally getting to do some engine things. The engine's actually okay, but these, I have the bearings and stuff out of it, and these are the bearings that came out of it, so they're not great, they're not terrible. This is ideally what I would like a bearing to look like, and you can see these have some wear on them, so I'm going to give it a new set of bearings. I also have a whole pile of shiny billet stuff that I want to put on it just because it looks cool. And I have a really fancy rocker cover. It's actually cast magnesium and weighs basically nothing, but my excuse for that is for some reason one of the events last year the rocker cover actually cracked here, and obviously made a mess. Everything's covered in oil and everything. It's just horrible in here, but that was my excuse for a fancy rocker cover. I'll show you now what all else we have nice. We have very sexy black billet throttle body, and this little dude. It's a turbo oil return, because obviously I had a rear wheel drive K series before. It was kind of the done thing, so I had my own shitty homemade thing. So let's replace that and be a little bit more professional looking. The same goes for the water outlet, because I'm running an electric water pump. I have this thing. Sort of, if we can see it. I don't know, can we? Yeah, we can. All sort of kind of chopped up. So this is my new article. So a little bit better. And what else have I? Billet timing gear, because K series things, I like to break these and chew the engine up. So one of the few things I haven't broken yet. So preventive maintenance and a new trigger wheel. This is an experiment. Don't know how it's going to work. Basically, pulling the inlet manifold and stuff off now, because both inlet manifold and rocker cover have to go to DeaneMSport to be coated. So, and my engine mounts, which you've probably already seen, they have to be done as well. So that's tonight's project.
Meanwhile,
So the engine's all back together again now. I'll give you a small rundown on what's inside it, but it's pretty basic bottom end. There's BC 65 rods. They're basically the strongest ones BC do, rated for something north of 1,000 horsepower. Even though the engine's not doing that, it's because I rev it so high and for such extended periods, being a drift car, so you need a pretty strong stuff in it. It's got RAS pistons, 10:1 compression ratio, which is high for a turbo car, but it's on 85, so that doesn't really matter. And around here we have all the time and tensioner stuff. So this is basically where I've had most of my failures with the engine. So we now have a hybrid racing billet tensioner. There's 2 ratchets on it, one top, one bottom, and much coarser teeth than an OEM ratchet, so that was the first thing to break. Then I had problems with jumping timing, which is what this dude here does. Goes round underneath, makes it impossible for the timing chain to move. And then new for this year is the actual gear, and behind here is the billet as well. It hadn't broken yet, but it's something they're known for doing. So when I was in there I replaced it, and then I also replaced this trigger wheel. So they don't have any trigger issues from the factory, but they only have a 12-toothed wheel, which means there's quite a gap between each signal going to the ECU. And now with modern ECUs, they can handle much higher frequency signal, which means they can detect engine acceleration and have a more stable rev limiter. So it's something that probably doesn't matter, but when I'm in there, I changed the trigger wheel so one with double the teeth, so that's just going to improve the resolution of the RPM signal to the ECU. Down underneath here we have the oil pump, which is a 4-piston oil pump. Unfortunately, I'm too poor for a dry sump just yet, so maybe next year if I don't throw it in the bin and put a V8 in it, but that's basically it. So hopefully tomorrow evening we actually get into the car. So we have a huge update today. Car is finally back from painting. I'm pretty happy with how it all turned out. Niall has put a lot of time and effort into this, and he kindly took some photos and videos of the process, so I'll get Sean to insert them after this, but I really couldn't be happier. Finish is just class. We've done something that's probably a little different. I've seen it done on quite a lot of rally cars. We've done the dash bar, the steering column and the A-pillars in satin black, so there's no reflection from the sun. So yeah, it's almost too nice to drive now, but I'm super excited to put it back together. I'm away for a few days now, so unfortunately it's going to have to sit like this, and I also have my engine ready to go. So the next project will be to get the engine mounted, because I have to make my own exhaust manifold, so that's probably more than likely going to be a whole episode in itself, because there's quite a bit to it, and obviously I'm doing my own unique design as well, so it'll be a bit of an experiment, and we'll see how that goes. But even look at this thing, I'm just so happy with it. Not bad for a lawnmower motor.